Whispers of Truth, a gentle exploration of interrogation and the Reid Technique. Welcome, dear listener, to The Gentle Scholar. Tonight, as your day winds down and the hush of the evening settles in, let us take you on a quiet, thoughtful journey through the shadows and psychology of human communication. Our focus tonight is one of the most fascinating and controversial methods ever used to uncover the truth: the Reid Technique. This isn't a tale of action or suspense, but of subtle glances, carefully crafted words, and the soft dance of persuasion. Let your body rest and your mind wander as we trace the origin, evolution, and impact of this powerful method of interrogation. One that's been used in high-stakes police interviews and courtrooms around the world. Chapter 1: A History of Interrogation. Long before the Reid Technique, humans have sought to uncover the truth through questioning. In ancient civilizations, interrogation was often brutal, relying on physical coercion or religious rituals. In Mesopotamia, the accused were subjected to trials by ordeal. In medieval Europe, inquisitors believed pain would compel honesty. But as societies evolved, so too did their methods. Enlightenment thinkers began questioning the morality of torture, and laws began to emerge to protect the rights of the accused. By the 19th century, a psychological approach began taking form. The idea that people could be persuaded, rather than forced, into revealing the truth laid the groundwork for modern interrogation. Chapter 2: The Birth of the Reid Technique. In 1947, John E. Reid, a Chicago police officer and polygraph expert, developed what would become the foundation of the Reid Technique. His interrogation of a suspect in a murder case led to a high-profile confession, and his method quickly gained traction among law enforcement agencies. Reid believed that behavior, subtle gestures, hesitations, and tone could reveal deception. He combined observation with persuasive tactics to draw out admissions of guilt. With his colleague Fred Inbow, Reid began training others. In 1962, they co-authored Criminal Interrogation and Confessions, the cornerstone text for Reid Technique training. Chapter 3: The 9 Steps of the Reid Technique. At the heart of the Reid Technique are 9 structured steps. 1. Direct confrontation. The investigator tells the suspect that the evidence shows they are guilty. 2. Theme development. The interviewer offers moral justifications to minimize the offense. 3. Handling denials. Denials are discouraged. The suspect is not allowed to voice their innocence. 4. Overcoming objections. The interviewer addresses reasons the suspect gives for why they couldn't have committed the crime. 5. Retaining the suspect's attention. By maintaining close contact, the interviewer ensures focus isn't lost. 6. Handling passive mood. If the suspect becomes quiet or withdrawn, the interviewer re-engages emotionally. 7. Presenting an alternative question. The suspect is given 2 options for why they committed the crime. Both admit guilt, but one is morally less offensive. 8. Getting the suspect to verbalize guilt. The suspect begins to offer a narrative. 9. Documenting the confession. A detailed confession is written and signed. This structured method was designed to produce confessions without coercion, relying on psychological manipulation over physical force. Chapter 4. The Behavioral Analysis Interview. Before the 9 steps, there's a pre-interrogation phase called the Behavioral Analysis Interview, BAI. This is where indirect, suggestive questions are used to evaluate credibility. Rather than asking, "Did you do it?" an investigator might ask, "Why would someone do something like this?" The suspect's responses, body language, and tone are carefully analyzed. Topics covered include the suspect's background, feelings about the incident, and beliefs about punishment. The goal is to assess whether the suspect is being truthful or deceptive. This stage helps interviewers decide whether to proceed to the formal interrogation. Chapter 5. Psychology and Persuasion. At its core, the Reid Technique is about psychological influence. It leans on cognitive dissonance, the tension between truth and self-image, minimization, making the crime seem morally understandable, maximization, suggesting dire consequences if the suspect doesn't confess. These tactics create a mental environment where confessing seems like the best option. It's a strategy of controlling the narrative, guiding the suspect from resistance to admission. Such methods, while effective, blur the line between influence and manipulation. Chapter 6. Famous Cases and Real-Life Use. Many high-profile cases have involved the Reid Technique. The Central Park 5. 5 teens falsely confessed after hours of interrogation, much of it using Reid-style methods. Their convictions were later overturned. Brendan Dassey, making a murderer. Interrogated at age 16, Dassey's confession was recorded and later challenged for being coerced. Michael Crow. A 14-year-old accused of murdering his sister, Michael confessed during a Reid-style interrogation. DNA later cleared him. These cases sparked public outcry and debate about the technique's ethical boundaries, especially with minors or vulnerable individuals. Chapter 7: The Criticisms and Controversy. Critics argue that the Reid technique is too strong and highly persuasive, to the point it may produce false confessions. When used on the young, mentally ill, or intellectually challenged, the technique's powerful persuasive tactics can backfire. They warned it should be used with caution. Organizations like the Innocence Project highlight that many wrongful convictions involved coerced confessions. Some countries have banned the technique entirely. Modern interrogation practices increasingly emphasize rapport building, transparency, and open-ended questioning. Chapter 8: Alternatives to the Reid Technique. In the UK and parts of Europe, the peace model has largely replaced aggressive tactics. Peace stands for preparation and planning, engage and explain, account, closure, evaluation. This model promotes ethical, open-ended dialogue. Interviewers gather facts, allow suspects to tell their version, and assess credibility without pressure. Studies show that rapport-based methods yield better long-term results, especially in intelligence and counterterrorism work. Chapter 9: The Role of Suggestive Statements. One defining feature of the Reid technique is its use of suggestive questioning. Instead of direct questions, interrogators might make observations or assumptions that prompt a reaction. For example, most people would have done the same in your situation. It's not like you meant for it to happen, right? These statements push the suspect toward confession without the pressure of a direct accusation. But such language must be used cautiously, as it can also lead the suspect into a false narrative. Chapter 10: The Future of Interrogation. As technology advances, so too does interrogation. Body cams, AI-based emotion tracking, and data analysis offer new tools for understanding human behavior. There is a shift toward investigative interviewing, emphasizing truth-finding over confession-seeking. This approach supports transparency and safeguards the rights of suspects. The future may blend neuroscience, psychology, and digital tools, aiming for accuracy without sacrificing ethics. Closing reflection. As you drift further into rest, think on the power of words, the weight of silence, and the gentle art of uncovering truth. Whether used wisely or misused, interrogation reminds us how fragile and profound human communication can be. Thank you for joining us on this quiet, thoughtful journey. Sleep well, dear listener, and always stay curious.